Chapter 5 Pony Friends Forever. You'll show that no talent foal. You'll humiliate her, just like she humiliated you in front of all of Ponyville. There will be no doubt who the most talented unicorn in Equestria is. Every pony deserves to get presents on their birthday, like that ball. It's a nice ball, isn't it? The Fall Free Press will be the biggest paper in Ponyville. Who cares if a few losers get their feelings hurt? Give the ponies what they want. Who do those losers think they are? She was your friend long before she came to Ponyville. She would have been nothing without you there to help her. Are you going to let those lame-os push you away? Discord whispered from his stone prison. Laughter bubbled up, unable to escape. Oh, my little ponies, you're just making this too easy. He turned his attention to Scootaloo. The filly was just getting out of school. It's almost time. Once she sees that I'm her friend, that I'm the only friend that would never leave her, chaos will rule again. Scootaloo, wake up! Scootaloo turned to see Apple Bloom trotting towards her from the schoolhouse. Hey, Apple Bloom, what's up? She asked as she started down the street again. Are you coming to the clubhouse today? I'm actually really busy today, she said, pawing nervously at the ground. Aw, you've been busy all week, and Sweetie Belle has a lesson with Fluttershy today. Oh, of course Sweetie Belle has a lesson today, and tomorrow, and the next day. Bah. I'm sorry, Apple Bloom. It's just really important, Scootaloo said. What are you working on anyway? Apple Bloom asked. I told you, it's a secret. Apple Bloom gave a frustrated sigh. It's no fun without the three of us. Scootaloo nodded in agreement. So I guess I'll see you later. Yeah, I guess so. Apple Bloom gave her friend one last frustrated look before turning down the road to Sweet Apple Acres. Scootaloo, why don't you go ahead and play with her? You've been avoiding every pony all week. Scootaloo shook her head. If I do go, we'll try to find our cutie marks. Sweetie Belle's been ignoring us for her lessons. I don't know what to do if Apple Bloom gets her cutie mark too. I suppose that makes sense. Scootaloo nodded, shuffling forward with no real destination in mind. I was wondering... Quiet, some pony's coming. Scootaloo slammed her mouth shut, wincing as she bit her tongue. Still, it was better than getting more stares. Ponies had begun to think she was crazy. Hello, Scootaloo. She turned to see Twilight walking up behind her. Hi, Twilight. Do you have a minute? I wanted to talk to you about something. Oh, I was going to bring those books back. Twilight raised a hoof, stopping her. No, not about those. Take as much time as you need. I'm just glad ponies your age are reading at all. Actually, you and your friends have been invited to Canterlot for a wedding. We have? Twilight nodded. I'm organizing it, and thought the three of you would make perfect flower fillies. Oh, who's getting married? Twilight's eyes tightened. My brother and some pony named Princess Miyamori Cadenza. You have a brother? And he's marrying a princess? How? Twilight shrugged. He's the captain of the Royal Guard, so Your brother's captain of the Royal Guard? That's so cool! Scootaloo said with wide eyes. Yeah, I suppose it is. Twilight nodded. So when's the wedding? We leave for Canterlot tomorrow, and the wedding is in 3 days after that. If you want to go, make sure you ask your parents tonight. Scootaloo nodded eagerly. I will. This is so cool, Scootaloo exclaimed, jumping up onto one of the beds and leaning out the window. You can see all of Canterlot from here. Yeah, who'd thought we'd get to stay in a castle? Apple Bloom asked. And we get 3 days off from school. What shall we do first? Asked Sweetie Belle. Are you two going to try to find your cutie marks? Yeah, Apple Bloom cheered. Maybe we can be royal cooks, or guard ponies. Actually, Scootaloo said nervously, jumping back to the floor, do you girls just want to skip crusading and hang out? Oh, sure, Apple Bloom said. Sweetie Belle nodded. We haven't really done that much this week. Scootaloo nodded. I missed you too. Apple Bloom caught her in a one-legged hug. That's because you were working so hard on whatever it was. You should have just come play. Scootaloo smiled. Yeah, you're right. This was bad. Every moment the fillies spent talking and laughing sent Discord back days. He could feel his hold over Scootaloo slipping. The subtle tones of gray in her mane had already vanished. He searched the castle for some pony in a position to stop the fillies, some pony who could be nudged into ruining their conversation or putting them to work. Twilight Sparkle stomped around the first floor, too angry to hear him. Fluttershy had already suggested that Sweetie Belle go play with her friends. Rainbow Dash would just turn them into a cheering squad, something that would cheer Scootaloo up even more. His whispers to the groom fell on deaf ears. He turned his attention to the bride. Wait, what's this? Silence stretched on as he thought through the implications. Finally, his consciousness withdrew to the statue, and he began laughing to himself. It was too perfect. Even as a spirit of chaos, he could hardly believe such a coincidence. Oh, Chrissy, you wonderful monster. I owe you for this one. Scootaloo listened to her friend's relaxed snoring. She was smiling to herself more than she had in weeks. Her cheeks burned with the strain, but she couldn't bring herself to care. I may have been wrong about the three of you. Scootaloo's heart expanded at the words, and for a moment she thought she'd float right out of her bed. You really think so? She asked in a hushed whisper. I couldn't think otherwise, seeing how happy you are now. I've never seen friends as close as you three. Scootaloo gave a wiggle of excitement. She'd been thinking it all day, how much fun it had been to just be with her friends again. Still, hearing Discord say it made it that much more real to her. She promised we'd always be the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Discord sat in silence for a long moment. I guess there's no real reason for you to free me. The Pegasus sat up, lips turning down in a small frown. But then you'd be stuck for 1,000 years. I'm used to it by now. At least this time I'm able to talk to some pony, so it isn't that bad. But it's a risk I didn't really want you taking in the first place. Now there's no reason for you to. Just forget about it. Scootaloo sank back down onto her bed. She didn't even know if she would have helped him, but now that the opportunity had passed, she couldn't help but feel bad for him. Maybe even a bit guilty. He'd been nothing but kind to her, and now he was giving up his chance at freedom just to keep her safe. Discord, why did you do everything the last time you were free? I mean, trying to overthrow the princess. You could have just left. Then you'd be free right now. And how do you know I wouldn't try again? No, yeah. Scootaloo shifted nervously under the covers. It's simple, really. I don't think Celestia is fit to rule Equestria. But every pony loves her. Yes, every pony loves their precious princess, but how many of them really know her? We've already agreed that she could solve many ponies' problems, and she just doesn't. The Apple family, for example, they would have a much easier time if they could grow year-round. Maybe she just never thought about it. If some pony talked to her... talk to her? The last thing you want to do is talk to her. Just ask Luna. Princess Luna? Yes. All she wanted was a bit more recognition, and the next thing you know, whoosh, straight to the moon. What? Princess Luna turned into Nightmare Moon. Princess Celestia didn't want to do it. Shush, you'll wake your friends. Scootaloo covered her mouth with her hooves and glanced at the other beds. Both ponies were still soundly asleep. She continued in a whisper. That's not fair. Celestia didn't have a choice. Scootaloo, who's more powerful, Celestia or Twilight Sparkle and her friends? That's easy. It's the princess.
And who has more experience and understanding of magic?
The princess again.
Then why did Celestia use the elements of harmony to trap her sister when Twilight was capable of changing her back?
Huh?
Princess Celestia is more powerful than the 6 of them together. She could have turned Luna back to good any time she wanted.
Scootaloo frowned into her pillows. That didn't sound like the princess, but then why couldn't she have turned Luna back? Did she really banish her own sister out of selfishness?
So that's why I tried to overthrow Celestia. I just wanted to help every pony. Oh, and Chocolate Rain. No pony knows true happiness without Chocolate Rain.
Scootaloo giggled despite her best efforts. She pulled the covers down over her head and cuddled into the warm bed.
Oh, Chrissy, aren't you looking positively radiant tonight?
Princess Cadence looked up from her book and turned in circles around her bedroom. Who's there?
I love the pre-wedding glow you have going on.
Discord's face appeared in the vanity mirror.
Over here.
The alicorn spun towards the sound of his voice and jumped in surprise. After a moment of thought, she turned back to her book.
Over here. Chrissy? Oh, don't be like that.
Cadence forcefully turned another page, tearing the corner slightly.
Oh, for crying out loud, how many times do I have to apologize? How was I supposed to know that changeling hives aren't aerodynamic?
She finally turned to the mirror, eyes livid. It took us months to clear the mess, and years to rebuild, you imbecile. Apologize until the end of days if you must, it still won't be enough. Discord rolled his eyes and leaned closer to the glass.
It was over 1,000 years ago. I've heard about mayors and their grudges, but isn't this a bit ridiculous? Either way, drop it for now. This is important.
Cadence sighed and walked across the room towards the mirror. What are you doing here, Discord? I thought you were trapped outside.
Oh, I am, but the spell wasn't done properly. My magic is getting stronger every day.
He rapped on the glass with an outstretched claw.
Still, this is a bit of a stretch. I just wanted to meet with you face to face.
And just what is it you want from me? Cadence asked.
I need help with a spell. 6 spells, actually, and I could use the service of a cruel, deceitful changeling such as yourself.
Cadence gave a playful smile. Thank you, but flattery won't get you anywhere. What's in it for me?
Free rein for your changelings to feed once I've conquered Equestria.
Ha! A tempting offer any other day, but in 2 days my changeling army will take Equestria by force. Discord scratched his chin, eyebrows furrowed in thought.
Yes, I suppose that does make my offer a bit useless. Unless you fail, of course.
Cadence turned her snout up in a dismissive gesture. That won't happen. No pony suspects a thing, and shining armor will soon be completely under my control.
Oh, of course. Well, except Twilight Sparkle. But really, what can one pony do?
Yes, What?
What can one pony do? It's a rhetorical question, of course. No pony can stop you now, right?
No, before that, fool! Cadence snapped, stomping her hooves on the desk in front of her. What about Twilight Sparkle?
Oh, I was listening in on her earlier. She's begun to suspect your true nature as changeling.
The princess ground her teeth in frustration. You're sure of this? Discord nodded and she continued. Then I suppose I'll just have to deal with her before she can tell any pony.
A splendid idea. Am I right in guessing the real princess is in the old mines below Canterlot?
Discord asked. Of course, I could think of no better place to hide her.
Then if Twilight causes trouble, it might be a good idea to reunite them.
Yes, I suppose it is, Chrysalis said. But why are you helping me?
Changelings running through the streets, ponies running scared, chaos in all of Equestria. I get chills just thinking about it. If you succeed, I'll break out soon enough, and Celestia won't be there to lock me up again. If you fail, you won't have any choice but to come crawling back and ask for my help. I win either way.
Cadence's eyes flashed with anger, and she turned away from the mirror. Discord vanished, but his laughter echoed in the room for a few more seconds. Chapter End.